Hi, I'm Ali and a warm welcome to the Ceramic Repair Studio. So in today's video, I thought I would share with you how to fix a chipped plate. Now, as you can see here, I have a mason's plate here, quite a large plate and quite a large chip here. So what we're going to do, we're going to fix it with a product called Milliput, but I'm also going to apply some glue to it just because it's a larger chip. So let's get going. Right, so here we are with our chip. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to apply a little bit of glue to the area. Now the glue I'm using is the Araldite and it's a slow curing glue, so it gives us plenty of wiggle time. You really don't want to use a fast drying glue. So I always collect bottle tops, which are really useful for mixing glue, but also for mixing paint and various other things. So what we do is we just apply one part, first of all, really need a little bit, into the lid and always close it quickly. And then the other parts, and you have to mix them both together, otherwise it won't actually harden and set. So just a tiny bit, so you want to make sure it's equal amounts. I also have a cocktail stick here, which is very useful for mixing. So once you've got your two parts together, you want to mix it together. And you'll know when it's thoroughly combined because it then becomes almost cloudy. And you want to make sure it's completely combined, otherwise it won't cure. As you can see, it's becoming more cloudy there. At this point, if you do have any titanium dioxide powder, you can mix that in as well. That does actually help the glue from going yellow, but it's not necessary. And actually, sometimes if you put too much in, it can actually weaken it. So just using the two parts of glue is fine. Now, as you can see, it's nicely combined now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of the glue and just apply it in the area. Now you want to make sure the area is completely filled with the glue. And when you're gluing, you only ever want to do one side. So for instance, we're gluing here, but we're not going to glue the Milliput onto it because it will actually pull away. So you only want to ever glue one side. And then sort of smooth it down to make sure there's no surplus glue. Just be very careful not to go over too far. Let's make sure it's on the inside as well. Right, so once we've done that, we want to take our Milliput, and Milliput comes in various colours. I'm using the superfine white today. Obviously, if you have a product you use, please let us know in the description box. It's always nice to know, in the comments box, sorry, it's always nice to know what other people are using. Now with this, it comes again in two parts. So first of all, we just take one part. And I always like to roll it up in a ball because then I can actually see against the other part to see if it's roughly the same size. So there's a rough ball there. Always again close it quickly, and then we'll take the other parts here. And again, you just want to roll it into a ball. And then you just want to make sure that they are the same size. Again, you want it even quantities, a tiny bit more on there, otherwise it's not going to set. So once you've got a tiny bit more the same size, you want to combine them together. And this just takes a couple of minutes, and you just want to really get that in really well. Now they tend to be on both the parts tend to be slightly different tones of colour, which is great because when you first start, you can sort of see it's almost like a marble effect. But the more you squidge into it and mix it up together with the fingers, it actually combines into one colour, and that's when you know it's literally ready to use. It will also feel a little bit like blue tack. Right, so once we've combined, we're actually going to start to flatten it out to roughly the shape of the chip. If you put too much on, then you're going to make harder work for yourself when it comes to sanding. So you want it slightly proud, but not too much. Just get a rough idea of the shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then just gently place on top. And just blend in. As you can see, I've got surplus here, so you can either use a craft knife or just take it off of your fingers. So I'll just take it off the fingers. There we go. And again, just sort of squidge that down. And just make sure it's the same at the back, so it's all blended in, so it's really easy when it comes to sanding. If you have a little bit of extra, you can always take some more of the Milliput product. And again, you can just always then place a little bit more on. And to be honest, once it's dried and cured, if you do find you've still got some pieces which need a bit of extra Milliput, you can always apply again once it's dry and sanded as well. So just apply a little bit more on there. But obviously, the cleaner it is when it's first being applied, the easier it will be when it comes to sanding. Right, I tend to leave this for a good 48 hours for it to really dry well, and then it's ready for the sanding part. So there we are, how to fix your chips plate. Again, if you want to sand it, say after 48 hours, I do have lots of videos on sanding and also painting afterwards. So I hope you enjoyed this video and it's really useful. Subscribe and a thumbs up if you found and enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Okay, bye.